Bam. All right. Live on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? Long time no see. Been a couple weeks. Bam. Welcome to the pre-podcast show. Just hanging with Ray. Got a couple minutes before we're going to hit that record button. And I'm gonna lay down the rules of the podcast to Ray real quick. Ray, these are the rules of the podcast. There aren't our fucking rules. There's no rules.
My kind of podcast.
You can say what you want, however you want to say it. Say whatever you want about whoever, because I don't give a shit. You can do what you want.
Oh, you're giving me a loaded gun.
That's how we do it here, man. Trust me. I've been canceled like 20 times on
That was just this week.
here. This week.
Basically.
It's only Tuesday.
So, how you guys' weekend was pretty good. You said it was sold out.
Yeah. It was a fun event. We did a lot of different things. It's the first time we actually have done a séance with a public group like that, and it was fun. It was cool.
Anything good happened during the seance?
Not that one, no.
Well, we did like a total. I led 3 of them, and we did 3. I led 3, and the first and the last, we had 3 family members, and each of them come through.
Oh wow, very cool.
And in the last one, it was for 2 of the guests, of the event, and then the first one, it was family members for our 2 friends that accompanied us.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. And we did have a few things. Like, it was really, it just goes to show how much your intentions play a part in these things, because like Spirit kept telling me, there's 2 people here, and you're gonna have some issues. So I kept trying to reiterate, like, I would stop, like, even when we first started the event, like, I made everybody like stop, close their eyes, take a deep breath in, slowly exhale, and told them, clear your mind. This is all about your intentions. You need to open up your mind, open up your heart to receive. But 2 of them were just like, they were there for moral support, but they didn't really care. And so when we did the big seance and we had everybody in holding hands except for like 3 or 4 people that couldn't fit around the table, and like, I could see the spirits. I could see all of them. Like, I even in the group, because Nick and I split off and we would rotate our groups. And in both groups, we got through necrophonic and the SB7, that, like, and the number kept growing, like the amount of spirits that were there that wanted to come through. But when we sat down, because of those 2 people and they were actually in on it, like, they just stood there. Like, I could see them and they were like, we're here, but we can't talk. Like, they basically were like, we can talk later. We can't do it now. And it was really sad, because I could see certain people, like Nick, even he called out for a family member of his. And I started feeling the trauma that is.
Hold on here. We can talk about this on the podcast.
All right.
So let's go ahead and hit the record button. We'll do a little intro, and then Bree will, introduce you, and then I don't know. We'll see if we can get canceled. All right, here we go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another fantastic episode of the Old World Paranormal Podcast. Man, babe, we've been busy. I know we apologize for not being on last week. We've been, I don't know, just was tired and wasn't feeling it. To be honest with you, we've had a lot of things going on. Of course, it's October, and today is what is today? October 22nd. No, 29th. 29th. Jesus. See, I don't even know what fucking day it is. 2 more days to Halloween, and this shit's over finally. Spooky season will be over. Coming back from this weekend from Wildwood Sanitarium, me and my better half over here had a wonderful sold out event at Wildwood. It was our second trip in 2 weeks.
Yep.
Sandwich in between that was Para Unity convention in Peru, Indiana. And wow, that was a wonderful event by Trips Paranormal. And now we are planning for Para Unity 7, and your host will be the fantastic Bree and myself.
Yep.
So we have to plan that, and we're helping with the Hope Paracon. And stay tuned, I might have something up my sleeve for March down south
Oh
in
yeah.
Savannah, Georgia.
So you're
So
going, so you're
That
going
doesn't even include the other Paracons we've already been invited to
right,
for
right.
2025. We got to
These
prepare for.
these will be the ones that we will be behind the scenes.
Yes.
So yeah, been busy, and we got another wonderful guest tonight. And this is a busy guy himself. He I don't know, he's an OG in the event circle, and we'll let Bree introduce our guest. Maybe.
Yeah, I'll introduce. Sorry, I'm like I'm responding to YouTube at the same time, so I'm moderating the chat on there and keeping my toes wet on what's going on here. So this man, he is the man, the myth, the legend. He is the founder and creator of one of the most amazing and starting to become extremely well known on the East Coast promotion events. Like he's got some right now, like irons in the fire. He's got promotion, he's got events coming up. He's got an event coming up that actually has like former TV stars on it. Did you know that? Yeah, he's got like Mustafa is going to be there, and if I remember correctly, he's from was it The Walking Dead that he was on?
Mustafa and Brandon Alvis from the TV show Ghost Hunters.
Or Ghost Hunter. Sorry, I
Like
there's so many people I got to try.
Are
No,
you talking about Santiago?
that's Santiago. There's so many people I got to try to keep up with. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I've got a new job and I work with patients in the medical field all day. So by the 6 o'clock, my brain, I'm lucky I don't burn down the kitchen trying to cook dinner right now. But this man is a powerhouse, and he has been taking a lot of stands lately for what is right in the paranormal community, in the paranormal field. And I think that is huge.
Well,
Know,
I'll tell you what, he's the Italian stallion, and
uh,
and he is the only event company on the East Coast that I like.
facts, straight facts. And I mean, we even went to one of his events in Virginia, and it was phenomenal the way this event was ran.
I was
The
impressed.
guests that were there,
I liked it.
It flowed so smoothly. And I mean, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you Mr. Rafael Savino. Thank you so much for joining our show. There's so much for us that we can talk about with your events coming up. And just, I mean, you've got so many things going on. I know Nick and I have even talked to you behind closed doors on some stuff. I mean, you've got some amazing stuff going on with your company, your baby, so to speak. I mean, tell us, like, how did this company, what inspired you to create this?
Well, in 2009, I founded RTL Paranormal, and so this was back when you had to email everybody instead of Messenger and all that, to get private investigations and stuff like that. So this is like 50, 75, 100 emails a week, and you probably get maybe one or two emails back in return saying yeah. So that's how we started, and we kept building off of that, doing private investigations, experiments, using all the equipment that other people were using, and debunking some of the equipment. Because some of it is kind of lots of lights and buzzers and stuff. So that's how we started doing that, and then to give back to the community, we did fundraisers. We did back to school fundraiser where instead of tickets, you guys brought in school supplies for the schools, and we handed them to the schools, elementary schools. Canned food drives, we gave them to like food banks. toys for tots. You get brought toys instead of tickets, stuff like that. And then that's when I started realizing that um, I love doing events. I love watching people come to the events and enjoy themselves and leaving happy and a smile. Yes.
I hate to interrupt. People are saying that it's hard to hear you, so it's not just on our end. They're struggling to hear as well.
Okay, let me see what I can do here.
I'm wondering if we kill the fan in here, if that might help as well.
All right, can you guys hear me now?
Okay, if you guys can hear better in YouTube on YouTube, our YouTube watchers can people on YouTube, okay, Raphael, Ray, can you say hi one more time and let's see if we can get them there. I have a slight delay on my end, but if they can let us know.
Well, hello.
Can y'all hear?
Can we hear? All right. So, uh, so we started doing all these fundraisers, and that's where I found out where I enjoyed doing fundraisers and making events and watching people come to the events happy and enjoy themselves and educate themselves. Uh, with doing investigations and learning from some of the things that we've learned from other seasoned investigators. And I really enjoyed it. And then about that time, A&E did a reboot of Ghost Hunters with a whole new cast.
Mhm.
Daryl Marston, Brian and Rochelle, Mustafa, Brandon Alvis. And I thought it would be kind of cool to do an event, a 2-day event at two different locations with the guys from Ghost Hunters. So we did that, and um, it went well. It went great as far as I'm concerned, to the point where I was asked to be a talent manager for some of the guys from TV show, which I thought was cool. I don't, I don't, I don't fangirl. I don't get all excited, and I definitely treat people the way I want to be treated. So I treated these guys as normal as possible and did the best I could as a manager. So then other people started coming in. I had some people from House in Between. Um, I can't think. Somebody from Paraflix that I'm not going to mention any names because I don't know if they want me to, but let's just say she owns it. Uh, also, some other people. So after a while, it got very. It was a lot of work for a little amount of pay. So I kind of dwindled down and decided, after about a couple of years, I decided I don't want to do it anymore. It's too many egos and people getting mad because I gave this person an event, that person an event. So I just want to be a paranormal event company. But I also help out people the best I can to be promoted and do events and get events and get them into Paracons or whatever. The best I can. Give them advice if they ask me for some advice. So I'll still do that. But yeah, like the event company or the events that I do with my company is probably, even though I don't get paid. In fact, I probably don't make any money at all with this. I think what uh, I it's going to sound cheesy, but I get rich with is watching people leave with smiles on their faces, um, learning something new, or having an experience that they will always have as a memory. That's the stuff that I like. Um, would I like to make a couple extra dollars? Of course, everybody does, but I think that trumps it all. Like when people leave happy and you treat them with respect, and they leave feeling like they've known you forever, as a part of a family. And the event that we had that you guys went to with Kenneth Torres, Ron Iacovetti, and Lourdes Gonzalez and Steve Dills um, was it's not a new idea, but it's new for me. It's not ghost hunting per se. It's more of an educational seminar.
Mhm.
And it went well, and you guys were there, and you guys surprised the shit out of me. I didn't know you guys were coming. That was cool. Kenneth was pretty thrilled about it as well. So, um, and I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves and I hope everybody else that night did too, because it seemed like everybody had fun as far as I saw. And
Yeah,
those,
Oh
from
yeah.
our perspective, you hit the people that have bought tickets, during the first part were engaged in what everybody was talking about. As far as, the little ghost hunt afterwards, it looked like everybody was having fun running around. Um, as putting events together myself a lot of times and being at a lot of events and stuff like that, like I really enjoyed that format,
I
how you
appreciate
put
you.
it together.
Very
And
cool.
FYI, everybody's listening. Bree and I, we bought tickets and then showed up. I put an alias name down.
I didn't even know you like your name didn't even show up. I don't even know how you guys did it. It was amazing.
You used an alias?
Yes.
Sneaky
I
fuck.
I knew he bought the tickets, but I didn't know that he had used an alias till now. So
Yeah, because I would have known, Nick. I would have known if I saw his name. I'm like, oh, this fucker's coming. All right.
With security at the door, please. Don't let this pudgy Italian dude in.
Oh, us pudgy Italians, we got to stick together. So, and that's what I like to do. I like to try to do different things, not just ghost hunt. I do the best I can to make the events reasonable. Um, a lot of event companies, because of the locations, um, jack up their prices for tickets. Now, knowing some of the event company owners, I know why they do it. I think it's stupid to alienate other people. Um, to give you an idea of how my ticket prices are different no matter what event it is and what location. Um, it has to do with the location, the state. I check out the cost of living and all that, and I just want to make sure that it's as reasonable as possible. And then of course, you have places that you can rent a room. So of course, you're going to have to accommodate the location for the room. So then you got some VIPs that are a little bit up there, and that's just because of the room. But with the room, I do a discount on the ticket. So if they get a room at full price from the inn or the B&B or whatever, they'll get like a half off or something on the ticket. I think to me that's fair.
Oh yeah.
oh yeah.
That way they can afford everything and still enjoy themselves and not feel like they just lost a paycheck. So, like I said earlier, it's not about filling my wallet. It's about making sure everybody leaves and with a smile on their face, and they're happy they were there and enjoyed themselves. So, um, if that makes me a failing business, so be it. Yeah, that was a dig at
You saying
somebody.
you're not making millions?
No, I'm not like some of these other guys. No, no names. So,
Man, you better get you some millions.
what I need to do is start a cult.
Get you a Colt.
Hey,
That's it.
I'm pretty good at coming up with hashtags. Get you a couple shirts, some hashtags on
Hashtag race Colt.
God, here we go. Here comes the message.
them.
So
We could be the Flumerio Flockers.
let's. All right, we took a hard left. Okay, let's get back on the highway. So
Welcome to our show.
And
uh,
we're canceled.
so Halloween after work, I'm going to drive to Kentucky. November 1st and 2nd. I have a 2-day event in Bardstown, Kentucky, with the TV show Haunted Discoveries, which has Brandon Alvis, Mustafa Gadolari, Kevin Oddie, and Craig Owens, the gentleman from it. I wish I was able to afford Malaya, but she lives in California, and that is. I already got Craig Owens coming from California. I don't know if I could have done Malaya, but I would love to have her at one of the events as well because I want to get all of them out. That's my goal, to have everybody from the TV show at an event somewhere. Um, so it's going to be at the Jailer's Inn, which, if you guys ever seen the episode of Haunted Discoveries with the Jailer's Inn, this place is crazy. As just as long, as far as from the TV is concerned, the episode is concerned. But I want to find out from, for myself. And I don't normally travel to other states because, I have kids and, I get them every other weekend. So but this one with everybody from all the guys from Haunted Discoveries, I'm calling in sick. I'm calling it dead at work. I'll take a rain check with the kids for one weekend. I'll do it twice another weekend because I really want to meet these guys because um, Brandon, Mustafa, Kevin, and Craig are probably, if not the most respected names in the paranormal field because they don't scream demons. They don't sensationalize certain situations, or uh, they actually investigate the way that I love investigating. Um, Using equipment that is logical um, to be using during investigation, not like um, the other stuff that us investigators use. There's not too many apps that I use, but there is. It's just because you could put it somewhere and you can walk away and you can go and do an investigation somewhere else. It's called EVPS, and it'll have a list of questions, and you can even add your own question. And then you can make the questions in the voice of a male, a female, or a little girl or a little boy, and you can uh, put how many seconds of silence you want in between each question. You can have a recording for you, and you can just leave that in a room somewhere.
How have I
It's
not heard of this?
I'll send you. I'll send you. It's on. I don't know if you guys have Samsung or iPhone, but it's on Samsung. On under apps, and I'll show it to you. I'll send you a screenshot of it.
Okay.
So that's the only one I use. I don't really use Necro. I'm old school. I like to, if it's not a video recorder or a digital recorder with an EDI or this EVPS app, I don't really use anything else. I mean, I got a bunch of stuff that I've bought, but none of it I really use. I probably um, use them at events and stuff because I have so much equipment that I let people that come to the events that don't have equipment or don't know how to use it, or they're novice or they're enthusiasts. I let them use it, and I have people in the group teach them how to use it. And that's another thing that's kind of cool. Like they get to actually use equipment. They actually have it in their hand, and they're actually doing stuff. And I think that's really a good thing to do, for the guests. So, and while they're doing all that, I'm reviewing audio. So hopefully, if anything is caught when I'm reviewing audio and video, if anything's caught, I present it at the end of the evening, which gets them all psyched up and excited on their way home. And then they might want to, they're so stoked about it that they might want to go to the next event or the next event.
Yeah, you hook, line, and sinker them motherfuckers to come back. You like, I know you're gonna be a repeat customer. Check out this EVP.
See, it's like a paranormal drug dealer. This first one's free, but
Like, you got any more of those
you got
EVPs?
any more of the EVPs?
Yeah. I'll take 2 lines of EVPs, please.
With a side of an apparition? Like,
So yeah, so and then after November, after that November 1st and 2nd, I didn't even realize that I did it. November 1st and 2nd is the what is it? Dios los Muertos, the Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't even like do that again if I tried. But
That's amazing.
so
We gotta go.
That's a long drive. Where the hell is this at?
Kentucky.
Kentucky,
We drove to Virginia.
hey, general admission tickets are still available. Hint, hint, wink, wink. And that is your better half. So you said better half, so she knows all. So I guess you're
Oh,
going.
you're breaking up. I can't hear you. What'd you say?
Your girl said to go.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I
All
don't know.
right, paper, rock, scissors.
No,
No fair. I'm a psychic. I
she's a
always win.
psychic. She wins every time.
Well, there you go. Well, she's also a female, so you'll lose no matter what.
Not if I go,
All
I
right.
still win because I do that.
I want to say one thing, and this, the way I look at it, I mean, I understand all aspects of the paranormal from the big time to your first day. Like, I understand it all. Going to this event, this is the first time I've went to one of Ray's events, and we went because, we wanted to see our buddy Father Torres. But, we got to meet Steve, and, everybody else had a great time. What struck me about it is, so this particular event was geared around education, educational, multi aspects of, investigators and researchers, to, some of the religious aspects with, with Father Torres. And to get that many tickets sold for an educational event, it speaks volumes for yourself, because it shows that, your event company has a good reputation. So when you switch it, where it's not your prototypical just couple celebrities, come ghost hunt with them, get your picture, your autograph, blah blah blah, in and out. This was totally different. And a lot of times, and unfortunately, because we have the attention span of a gnat, you know, and people want just the scare factor. It was cool to see so many people buy tickets, and like I said, even be engaged. And when all, the people that were there. Now, I'm not knocking that the people that you had there, like, they're not celebrities. They're very well known in the paranormal community, but in the paranormal community, they're not like, been the big time TV shows and stuff. But as far as, us in the paranormal community, like Steve Dills, is top notch.
Yeah.
Father Torres, he's top notch. I don't remember their names, but love the techniques that they were doing.
Lourdes and
Ron and Lourdes, yeah.
yeah.
The way they're going about their research, and what they're doing with what is it called again?
Staticom.
Staticom. I was very highly intrigued with
I
it.
want to know more about that.
So-
That really blew my mind.
You should get them on your show.
Yeah.
Ron and Lourdes will. I know they do it. It's another two people that are part of the Staticom project, and I can't remember their names offhand. But if you get in touch with Ron and Lourdes about possibly going on your show, you can probably get the other two too. They're phenomenal. All four of them are great, and that's what it's not. I mean, I appreciate the kind words about what it says about Flumery, but it's not really Flumery. It's the people that we're able to get, and the people that we are able to get for the events are people that I've known for years and I've respected. And Steve, I've known Steve for a long time, and the contributions he's done in the paranormal field, as well as fundraising for Hanover Tavern, as well as other historic locations. I have mad respect for him for that. Um, Father Torres and we have become really, really good friends, and we talk on a regular, and he's like a brother to me. I mean, hell, that night after the event, he spent the night at my apartment here, because he had a long ride back to his relatives in Virginia Beach, and by the time we got here, it was 2:30 in the morning. I wasn't going to let him go anywhere, so he stayed in the spare room, and we spooned.
You're the big spoon.
I was the fork, baby.
You're the fork.
Which is funny because he left before I woke up, and he left
The note you posted.
Yeah, I had a great time.
He understood the assignment. Let's put it
That's
that way.
right. But that's what I want to do. I want to bring in people that you don't normally hear about, because everybody is so in awe about all these bigger names, which I don't have an issue with um, the more known people. But there's many people in the paranormal field that have been doing this for years that the majority of us never even heard of.
they get
Um,
overlooked and they
yeah,
deserve the accolades. But I think, like, I don't want to like just be rude and interrupt, but I want to say this real quick is that I think it does speak volumes about the company that you've created because you see these other companies out there and they're only going for the big names. They're not trying to uplift and bring up other people and showcase the ones that have been doing this and are creating amazing techniques and are doing amazing things to help save historical locations or are like there's that are doing phenomenal things even in the spiritual, like with Father Torres. You're highlighting and you're trying to help these people and you're saying look at these people, like you're bringing people together to and you're creating these educational seminars where there's still investigating going on. And I think that speaks volumes for you and the company that you've created because you're spreading the love, like there's a lot of infighting going on about what pure unity is. And I
there
think
is,
if
there is.
anybody were
There's no parity.
there's no pure unity, but if we were to see what it should look like, what an example of it is, in all honesty, I think that you're a shining beacon of that because you show how you're supposed to love and how you're supposed to support and how you're supposed to encourage and push. And you don't see that with other companies that I'm aware of.
Well,
So I think that's why we're so in awe
I
of
would say
what you started and what
there's
you've created.
there's one other company that I would endorse, and that's Eerie Encounters with Kayla and uh, I don't remember the other lady's name.
I've heard of them. I heard
Yeah,
some good
like
things
they
about
go
them.
to like the small, like the lesser known locations. Like they're based with
And
Post
that's
Town
and that's
Elementary.
and that's
So
another
I
thing
mean,
I like to do. I like to, you know, again, don't get me wrong. The like Waverly and Crescent and Mid Orange and all these places, St. Albans and like all these Ohio Reformatory. These are great places, but there's also other places that are scraping to survive. Um, and that was the
you
other
do a
thing.
lot like what Steve does, don't you? Like where you do the events in the off season so that way they can still put money in the bank to pay the bills.
Well, what we do is we do events with historical societies here around my area, and the events, the ticket sales for the events go to the historical societies. That was one thing that I was very adamant about, especially um, when I founded when Flumery became a thing. It started in March, like right before the pandemic. So we had to go through all that bullshit with the rules and the regulations and the guidelines and this and that. But nobody seems to understand that the historical societies and the state parks that had uh, historical locations on the state parks and stuff at the state parks, um, the government funding wasn't there, so they were losing money left and right. So we started working with state parks and stuff like that, and the historical societies and doing these events.
I don't want to react. Sorry.
Keep going. We were trying to stream live on TikTok at the same time so that way more people could hear more about what your
Gotcha.
company does and get your name out there a little bit more
Oh,
to
appreciate it.
advertise for your events. So
So that's what we were doing. We were doing these events for historical locations and stuff that were not getting the funding from the government. So every little money that we were able to do with events here and there, it helps. So
Every dollar counts.
and see, that's
exactly.
what Nick and I love is that you're doing that because, like, if there's one thing that Nick and I love is like the historical locations that need the highlight. We love to go to these locations and try to help as much as we can. And seeing other people do that, I think that's huge for us. We want to support that's happening. We don't want to go line somebody's pockets we want to go and help. And when we see other people wanting to help, that's like when we're like, yeah.
Well, it's like we took a different approach. I mean, I've been in the construction industry for 26 years, mainly flooring, but I know how to do a lot of things. So we start talking about it, and it's like, well, why don't we handpick some lesser known locations that need some TLC? And we've been donating our time,
Yeah.
and going down and, on our dime and helping, if it's rearranging the place, restaging, putting in flooring, not, knocking down walls, this or that. It's just something to give back, again, understanding from running a location how much time and effort goes into that,
Yeah.
not only money, just so people can come in and try to enjoy themselves instead of being assholes. Well, they ran out of toilet paper. I gave this place a one. Like, they suck. Oh my god, they didn't have a bathroom. Oh my god. Oh, they only had one outlet. Oh my god. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. But anyways, um, it's giving back. And then, as far as the history aspect, it's huge because history and paranormal go hand in hand,
Mhm.
and people should, I would think, if you're in the paranormal community, do something to give back, help a historical society, donate money, donate some of your time, do something to give
Exactly.
back.
And don't do it for the right reasons. Don't do it because of you're trying to get likes or uh, recognition that you don't deserve, kind
Right.
of stuff. Um, because I've been doing this since 2009, and the same attitude that I had in 2009 and the same mission statement that I had back then, I have it now.
Yeah,
Um, I some people might call me an asshole. Some people might call me a nice guy. I mean, I'm
you're
both.
Italian. You're both.
I'm both. It just depends on who's talking.
Depends on who gets which version.
Exactly. But for the most part, I try to do my best and respect everybody. But there's going to be times where my brain to mouth filter doesn't work, and I say the shit that's on my mind because something doesn't sound right to me, or somebody, or something is fucked up, and that's where I get in trouble. Um, I tend to speak my mind a little bit, and some people agree with me, and some people don't. And either way, I mean, it's great that you agree with me, and if you don't, well, fuck you too. So um,
Go fuck yourself, all right?
that's just, I mean, and to be able to do what I'm doing, doing something that I love and enjoy doing it um, for this long, um, despite all the dramas throughout the years, or um, the beef that people have had throughout all the years, and still be able to do it. To me, that kind of says something about the paranormal field. I mean, it's something worth fighting for, as cheesy as that sounds, but it is because, we're not going to be able to we're not going to be taken seriously if we're doing stupid shit, with each other. Remember back in the day where we used to share if data and information with other paranormal groups, photos or EVPs, and when's the last time you heard of that? When's the last time you heard of people, groups helping each other out that, or even keeping a log for that matter? Um,
Mhm.
or, just, I don't know. It's just, it's a whole different environment nowadays. And I don't know. I'm kind of old school. It gets a little annoying sometimes.
No, I 100% agree with you, man. And, will we ever get rid of the drama? Probably not. It's not going to go anywhere because it's too easy to go on social media. And, when the person is like, well, I don't like drama, but blah, blah, blah. Well, you're part of the problem because you're posting about it.
And as long as people get likes and engagement of some sort on social media, it's gonna continue.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Me, I appreciate if you guys love Flumery Promotions because it's Flumery Promotions and what we do. But if you're loving Flumery Promotions because of any type of drama that we were ever in or going to be in or whatever, you could just delete yourself now, I guess. Um, it's not. I just don't care anymore. It's frustrating where um, the little people are not getting recognized or they're getting um, fucked over in the paranormal field when you have people that are actually smiling in your face but stabbing you in your back that's getting more and more popular and
That
whatever.
don't happen. Shut
Well,
up, Ray. That don't happen.
uh,
You're lying.
well,
I don't know. How many knives did we just pull out of our backs?
42. But who's counting?
and it's only Tuesday.
It's
Only Tuesday.
Eh,
So I gotta ask. So Flamery, what's up with that word?
So my father is from Flumery, Italy, and he was my hero growing up. He was a immigrant with no English whatsoever when he came to New York, which I think that's the law. Like if you're from Italy, you got to go to New York. But
Yeah.
but before he was born in Italy, but because of Mussolini and all that and the dictatorship, the family moved to Argentina, to Buenos Aires. So they built a family over there in Argentina. So then when him and my mom moved to New York, um, he didn't have any English. He was a laborer for a construction company. Um, he uh, he stopped going to school in like ninth grade in Argentina, which third world country, education, you know. So he was able to teach himself how to lay bricks. Like when everybody left to go home, he would take all the junk bricks out of the dumpster and he would teach himself how to lay bricks. He would take the blueprints out of the dumpster when the job was done and taught himself how to read them. He taught himself how to estimate for materials and stuff. So um, when he asked for a dollar raise as a laborer, they basically told him, "Fuck you! I can get two more immigrants like you for the price of one." So he took a chance, and this time he was with my stepmother. So he took a chance and he quit, and he started his own company, his own construction company, and it was just him. So he would build the scaffolds by himself. He would put all the mortar on each level of the scaffold, and then shovel it up to the next one, and then the next one. Um, he did everything, and then little by little, he was getting more and more successful. So he kept adding, and next thing you know, he uh, he had one of the top 10 most successful masonry companies in Northern Virginia. Then he retired, and he got bored with retired life, so he ended up with another multi-million-dollar company that was successful. And then, unfortunately, in 2017, he passed away from adenocarcinoma, lung cancer. So he was. I was a hardhead. I was a troublemaker as a kid. I'm still a fucking hardhead. I still don't know how to how to keep my mouth shut. Um, but we we had some good stories together. I'm probably the only one that's ever sat in the back of a cop car with my dad, kind of thing. But he taught me about life. He taught me about respecting people and treating people with kindness, and in return, that's what you get. So I took his passion for the construction company and his way of thinking and how to treat his employees. And when I decided to do Flumery, I wanted to do a tribute to my father. So that's why it's Flumery Promotion. Um, I don't know if you can see, but I got a tattoo of him too. Um, so the way he treated people, like he would, what do you call it? Some of his employees that had family that wanted to come over here to the country, he would sponsor them. He would get them places to live, and he would sponsor them and get them jobs. And then, like the holidays, he would like buy, like for example, Thanksgiving. He would buy a whole Thanksgiving meal for each per employee's family, stuff like that. He was uh, well known and respected in the Italian embassy, which was crazy to me to see like all these military people from Italy at my dad's funeral in their military regalia. I thought that was cool. Um, and then hearing all the stories at his funeral about how these people, how my dad impacted their lives, I brought tears in my eyes because I didn't know any of these stories. I just knew him from being my father and watching, growing up with him. So he became a hero of mine. So, what better way, in my opinion, to give tribute to my father than by calling it Flumerio promotion? Um, which I still like to think that my dad's way of thinking, I'm hoping anyway, that I'm bringing it into the Flumery promotions, into the paranormal. I do my best to treat everybody the same until you cross me. I try to give people
You
as
can
much
wake up with a
respect.
horse head in your bed.
We don't talk about business. So, um, so I just try to do what I can that I think my dad would be proud of. I mean, it's pretty simple recipe. Um, and but I don't. I can be a nice guy, but don't like cross me. Like, don't try to like screw me over, kind of thing. Just like my dad. My dad knew when. What would he say? Uh, never bullshit a bullshitter.
Yeah.
So like, and I never, when I was a kid, when I heard that, never really understood what it meant because I was like 7 or 8 at the time. But then as you get older, you're like, now it makes sense. All right, I got it. Because sometimes there's going to be people out there that's going to try to use you and manipulate you, or um, try to use you as a stepping stool or a money mark. Um, which which I've had all of those happen with me, and it only takes once. It just takes one time for that to happen, and then I don't talk to you. I ghost you. You
The
no pun,
irony.
We
no,
can, I'm pretty sure we can relate to that.
I mean, no
Just
pun intended. I'll be ghosted people.
well, it sounds like I mean, it's a true Italian American story. Um, you know, people. I don't know. Just people don't understand the Italian people when they came over here how badly they were treated. They had to work 3, 4 times harder than everybody else just to get just to get ahead, just to survive over here.
And it wasn't just the Italians, but yeah, there was a time where um, Italians were getting lynched more than anybody else. Remember, what was it? The early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
Italians were getting killed, murdered left and right.
Yeah.
Uh,
If
so,
anybody watches the movie Cabrini, it shows a lot of what
Great movie, great
the
movie.
Italian immigrants went through.
but it wasn't just. I mean, yes, we had a bad life, but or Italians had a bad rap throughout the years. But there's a lot of people that come to this country that work their asses off, and um, they get mistreated or used or ridiculed or assaulted just because of where they come from and stuff. But if
I
you if you watch, a lot of them are success stories too. So
Yeah.
as long as everybody like treats each other the way they want to be treated, I got people screaming outside. Um, everything would be all right. But it doesn't really work that way sometimes.
Right, right. No, my great grandfather and his family came over. Um, I want to say 1910-ish, and they came from Caserta, Italy.
Yep.
So we still have family. But the only difference is, again, he didn't understand English, spoke straight Italian. So our family, so there's two different families in Italy. There are Carbonis with an I, but there's also Carbone with an E. So when he came over, actually, our family last name ends with an E, not an I. He misunderstood, and they put an I when he was registering coming through.
And
Yeah.
and there's a lot of that. Like Savino is not like it derives from Savini, Saviano, Savio. There's like I have like this piece of paper that tells you all the surnames of the Savino and what country or what city in Italy they came from and everything. I thought that was
Wow.
I thought that was crazy, but um, yeah, so that's where the Flumery comes in, and then the mission statement for Flumery has been the same thing since I was a founder in RTO. Um, do the events and make sure that you include the guests. Don't make them feel like they're a dollar bill. You know what I'm saying? Like make them feel like
Mhm.
human being. Um, teach them what you've learned from other seasoned investigators. I don't like the word expert or professional, but there are a lot of seasoned investigators out there that have been doing this way longer than I have, and I still ask questions after
Oh, yeah.
15 years. And teach them what you were taught, and hopefully, um, when they become like a full-fledged investigator, maybe they'll teach somebody, and so on and so on. And then that way we'll have a lot of people that are investigating for the right reasons and doing it the right way. And um, that's what you're going to see at my events. Uh, the people that run Flumery events, I mean, it's not. I'm just a hood ornament, to be honest. The people who actually run Flumery promotions is the people from RTL Paranormal. They do all the events. Uh, there's like 13, 14 people in the group, but the main core is Rachel and Kevin, Pat and Dallas, Ben and Ketcher. Um, I have some new psychics in the group or sensitives in the group. Um, these are the people that make sure that everybody leaves the events happy. They do all the work. Um, like for example, Pat and Dallas, they make the merchandise for me.
Love Pat
Um,
and Douglas.
uh, yeah, Pat and Dallas are amazing. Rachel and Kevin are amazing. If you ever watch
Yeah.
them run a group at an event, like I've done that many times, and I sit there with my jaw, wide open or smiling because I'm so proud of these guys and how they run the events. Um, I have two new sensitives, Katie and Jenny. I've known them for years, and they just recently joined the group because they have uh, strengthened their gifts, their abilities, and they're doing it. I don't like, oh, you want to join the group? Okay, no, I have a little bit of a trust issue, and I have to see that you're willing, that you want to put in the work. Um, and they've done it. They've done it for years. I've known them for years. So now they're part of the group. Rachel and Kevin, um, they were people that used to go to events all the time, and it took a long time for me to let down my guard and my trust, or not let down my trust, but let my guard down and trust them enough to be a part of the group. And I'm glad that they kept on pushing me about being in the group because them two are probably uh, one of two of my closest friends. I consider everybody in the group family. Some are a little bit closer than others, but like Rachel and Kevin and Pat and Dallas, Katie and Jenny, um, and there's a lot more that I'm forgetting right now, but they're all family to me. We're close. We talk almost all the time, and we joke around. We talk, when they know when I'm down or depressed. They know something isn't right. They'll message me or call me, and and vice versa. So Paul and Shannon is another one. Paul Shannon is a great investigator, and Paul is like he's our Sheldon. Um, he does all the research. The man, if you want research done, that man is phenomenal. Um, you'll come back. He'll come back with a book this thick, full of all the research for one location. He's
Mhm.
that dedicated. That's how hard he works doing his thing, and he loves doing it. He does it for everybody. He's done it for historical societies just for shits and giggles. Um, he does it for us. He does it for other people. Um, he's just a good guy, and it just that's the kind of family that I love to have as Flumery Promotions because it's not me. I don't do shit. All I do is find locations and find the right people to fit for those events. They're the ones that bust their asses to make sure everybody's happy, and I can't be any more prouder, to have them
It,
on.
it definitely takes a team, a good team, to run something successfully.
Yep.
And when you're sitting behind the scenes or you're buying a ticket to an event, and let's say you go to two different events. Okay, first one, you go to the event and you can see the camaraderie, the love and the respect of the team putting on the event. You could
Yep.
see it, you could feel it. The vibe of the place is up. It's great. Then you go to event number two, and you can tell when people are pissy with each other or there's stuff going on behind the scenes because that all that just reflects back onto your guest, and they end up not having a good time, and it's just a snowball effect. So yeah, I mean, it really it takes a team to make a dream here.
Yeah.
And if you're lucky enough to get five, six, seven, 10 people together that care about each other and are in it for one mission, it's that's gold right there. That's gold.
Absolutely. And that's what I've learned from my father. So I kind of put um, that kind of frame of mind. So they do everything. I mean, not do everything, but they have a place. They have a purpose. Not just like, oh, I'm gonna just show up and like some places you're just there to be there. No, they
Right.
actually have a purpose at the events.
There it goes. We froze. Either we froze or he froze. Somebody froze. Frozen.
I don't know.
Can you still hear us, Ray? You have a very disturbing look on your face right now. But I just know from my experience of running events, putting things together, you could tell how the event's going to go if like everybody's in a good mood and everybody's getting along and working together. It shows, and then you have the event. And people reach back. Oh, there he is. Reach back out, and they're like, "Oh, it was such an amazing event. It was this. It was that." Then it's vice versa when things are going down and you have issues on your team and people are fighting with each other. It's going to exude back into your guest, and you know lost connection there. But you ever get a chance, Flumerio Productions, said we went to one. I was highly impressed. And I'm very opinionated with stuff like that. So I didn't have anything bad to say about it. The guest, Ray and his crew, it was a very well thought out, educational event. And, I look forward to going more arrays of,
Oh,
events.
definitely. Definitely. Um, I know that Ray has an absolute genuine heart. Like when I was on
Well, he's an Italian guy. So,
well, when I was on my road trip last year, my first one that was only 2 weeks, I was driving up from North Carolina headed to New York because we had the collab that was going on at Mid O, and I had to find somewhere to stay. And I had made a comment. I was on Facebook Live, and he reached out and was like, "Hey, I've got a spare room. There's no sense. You're going to drive past me. I can help you out. And the fact that, he provided me a safe place, that I could go, like that spoke volumes to me about who Ray is. And Ray, I feel, walks that out in a lot of areas. A lot of people want to say bad things, but, you know, people, actions speak louder than words. And he's one that I feel puts a lot of who he is. Like, you see who he really is,
Right.
like he walks it out. He really does his best to help others. And I think that that is huge. He puts his heart and soul, you can tell, into his team, with RTL. I mean, Pat in Dallas, Rachel, Kevin, got to meet a couple of the others when we were in Virginia. And you can tell that it truly is a family atmosphere. And I know that we'll definitely be going to more of their events. And,
Yeah,
we'll see
absolutely.
what the future holds.
We shall see. We shall
We shall
see.
see. You never know what the future holds.
But reasonable priced events, guys, it's not like some of these other one where it's $100 a ticket for base and 150 for VIP and this or that. Yeah, well, some of them be up to 80, $90. Yeah, but majority of them are,
You get what
40,
you
$50. And
right, and he makes it affordable. It's not kicking you in the gut, like where you have to go, okay, I really want to do this. I think this could be a really cool, something I can go do with my significant other, my wife, my husband. We can take our teenagers to this, and
right.
because it's educational. They're not making it like, ooh, it's scary, but it's educational for the people who want to better understand and to know that it's not all scary. And, with the education of the history of the locations as well that they give, they make sure that you are well informed. This team puts everything into it. And they don't make it to where you're like, damn, can I go grocery shopping and pay the light bill this week? You can still afford to go and do this and have a fun educational family thing that you're doing.
He said his computer just crashed.
Oh no, his computer crashed.
So, you know, I don't know if we'll get Ray back on here, so me and Bree will wrap this up. Um, Bree and I have been talking a lot lately about 2025, and we're going to be a part of putting some Paracons together.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, um,
Oh, and he can't get on Zoom on his phone.
so we've already got a lot of things. We'll be at some Paracons as vendors or this or that. But as far as this podcast goes, as far as remote paranormal goes, everything is up in the air right now. To be honest with you, we don't know. We're kicking around some ideas of something new. I might squash the podcast, at the end of the year and go in a different direction. We might squash remotely paranormal and go in a different direction, a different show. I will say this about remotely paranormal, and I will say this to Bree. You have ignited something in the paranormal that was not there before. Only a handful of people did it with your solo projects, and now you see all over the place. My solo, my I'm alone in this place. I'm locked in this place. I'm this or that. So kudos to you for bringing that to the paranormal and seeing a lot of people piggyback off that.
Thank you.
You and maybe two or three other people that I can think of are the only people you would ever see go solo or alone into locations. So I don't know. We will see what the future holds.
I think it's cool though, because with what you've done on your own with the podcast, you guys have, you with your podcast, you were able to inspire others to pursue their own and to start their own things. I mean, we've seen teams, I've seen teams be founded. I've seen other podcasts start, and they've openly said it's because of Old World, it's because of Nick Carboni, and I think that's amazing. Um, the whole remotely paranormal, my whole purpose, I didn't start the paranormal to go get a name and make money. I started it to find myself, and then I was told go make a name for myself. And um but my whole purpose, regardless, is I want to inspire others to go and to do. I don't care if it's paranormal or if you're knitting. I want you to find your purpose. I want you to find your happy place. I want you to love yourself. Learn to love yourself. And, regardless of what that is. But what I think is exciting is that you and I now have a chance to birth our own baby, so to speak. We can't have kids, people, but we're now going to have our own baby. Stop. No, but we're going to be able to have our own project, and it's going to be from scratch. And
this will be in another project.
well, yes, but
we are still working on the bombshell that we will drop. This is something that will be coming in 2025.
gonna be huge.
We're hoping to hit the road here and filming some more. That's still coming.
Yes, but this is gonna. But
this
but
is something else.
This is gonna be because the podcast and remotely paranormal are probably have met their end, and it's.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I want to do something different. I like to doing the podcast. Let's do something different. I mean, there's so many paranormal shows and podcasts and
I've got an idea. I'm
It's
actually kicking around because he brought this up when we were driving to Wildwood for our event on Friday. And he was like, I want to, let's put the podcast to the side. Let's put remotely paranormal to the side, and why don't we build something? Why don't you and I together create something to fill that and something new? And I've had a couple of ideas that I've been in my head kicking around, and I'm sure that with Nick and his creativity, because man is freaking genius when it comes to ideas. I know that he, the two of us together, I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to come up with something that's going to just blow some minds. And because the paranormal needs to be thought outside of the box. Everybody's recreating the wheel, and it's kind of like how, in all honesty, the wheel is being recreated by, Flumery with Ray and his team, and how they're actually giving back to these historical locations. Nick and I now have a chance to recreate the wheel too and create something new, and I'm excited. I know that in the next couple of weeks we'll be able to announce, what it'll be. Right now we're at the drawing board, and so we want to definitely take the time right now to thank everybody for all their love and support of, the podcast, of Remotely Paranormal, of pushing us and supporting us. Doesn't mean that, we're not going to be here. We're going to be here. We're just going to be here in a different way. We're taking the box and throwing it in recycling.
Yeah, you're not going to get rid of us. I mean, we're like, just saying, we'll be everywhere. You'll like it or not like it, but hopefully you like it.
They're going to like it. Don't talk them out of it.
I mean, they follow this so far. But look, I am one that's always for change, and now is the time for change. With Bree coming on the podcast, and obviously Sean being there for 120 some episodes. We had a good run, and it was great. Just like the show I did before, we did almost 100 episodes, and I got tired of it and move on. So I think now's the time to sit back and figure something else out and come up with something new. And that's good. That's always good to change, reinvent yourself, and move forward. And we have the opportunity with us together, and what we've already accomplished, and what we're going to accomplish here in the future is it's going to be fun. And I don't know.
Think
it's going to be cool.
I think it's exciting though, because you see a lot of couples that are doing stuff in the paranormal, and we're going to be able to do something and put fun twists to it and make something new. And hopefully we can inspire a whole new generation underneath of us with what we're getting ready to do, like we did with Old World Paranormal Podcast and like we did with Remotely Paranormal. We want to encourage people to think outside of the box and to think for themselves and to pursue what they love.
And if you haven't seen Remotely Paranormal, head over to Bree's YouTube channel. All the episodes are on there. Just go watch one. You'll be thoroughly entertained. It is a good show. It's a good concept of a show. It was the show that her and Chris Smith came up with, and I ended up hosting one of them. I mean, it's a good show. Just like this podcast was a good podcast, but I just things come to an end sometimes, and
I think maybe what we should do though before we put Remotely Paranormal to bed, I think we should have one more episode in November and then a big blowout if we could for December in homage of what.
there's two locations that we're still going to do.
Yeah.
Then after that, it's kind of up in the air. So I definitely want to get those two episodes in.
Oh, yeah.
Before we decide if it's going to, I don't know. We might decide to keep it. I don't know. We'll see. But as far as the podcast is concerned, I want to go a different route. I want to do something different. And
Well, for us to do that, the Remotely Paranormals, because that's just too much, and I want to be able to focus completely on what we're going to do.
well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But thanks again to Ray for coming on. He's such an amazing dude. He reminds me of myself so much, to be honest. And of course, you have the Italian background, so I understand his thinking. I am one of the most giving and loving people you'll ever meet. Then again, I can be the biggest fucking asshole in the world.
That's facts.
And it's how you treat me is which side you're going to get, I guess. And I always play devil's advocate, and I always try to, see the good, but sometimes it's just you got the one people that I don't know. So I thank you guys for tuning in. We did TikTok tonight too. That was the first time we've done that. So we did stream on TikTok. TikTok, if you want to see any podcast before, there's 131 episodes up on YouTube or on any podcast formats. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channels, Old World Paranormal Society, go check it out. But TikTok doesn't like me too much with my phone, and it kicks me off every like 20 minutes because the camera issues. Makes no sense. I can see
there's no camera issue.
YouTube, yeah, we're just gonna recreate things, and I don't know. So look forward to the future, and have a wonderful Halloween this week, guys. And we're coming into November. Make sure you get out and vote. And I don't know. We'll go from there. But much love to everybody out there, everybody across the globe. I think we're in 45 different countries listening to the Old World Paranormal Podcast. We appreciate you. That is something that is mind blowing to me, how podcasts and social media can so quickly get you to interact with people around the globe. So yeah, with that being said, you got any last words there, bud?
No, I am just very grateful to Ray for being on, and to those from that work with him with RTL that have been in the chat. Pat, I see you, love you. Her and her husband, I mean, they go above and beyond, and so do Rachel and Kevin and all the other members of the team. And we just want to extend our gratitude and our love and our appreciation for the team and all that they do.
RTL Paranormal, top notch people. Much love to you. The whole crew, everything. So, bottom of our hearts, thank you guys for what you do. Continue to keep pushing forward, changing the game, and yeah. And with that, we will see you. So we have a couple more episodes, that are supposed to be booked. I don't know if we'll play those out. We'll see what happens the next couple weeks.
I think we got like 3 more left.
So
for the year that are planned out.
After that, then I don't know. We'll let you know on all the socials.
Stay tuned. It's going to be exciting.
Stay tuned, y'all. We'll see you.
Peace.
YouTube, thank you guys. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button, please. share it out, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Same with TikTok. All right. Till next time. We'll see.